It's not perfect all the time. It's not flawless all the time. We will do some mistakes, but we have to take responsibility for them. Because if we decline the responsibility and we always blame someone else and the circumstances and the environment and the bad crisis we're facing right now, then we won't grow. We can't build up anything. There is no legacy involved in not accepting accountability. You won't see any rich, successful entrepreneur or great magician or great discoverer or great scientist or great researcher that hasn't got the guts to stand up for himself and say, well, this was my mistake. I'm accountable for this mistake. I screwed up big time. That's how life works. The pendulum of life, of creativity, how it swings back and forth. And in the middle, there's the truth. I want you to experience that truth by taking accountability over your own artistic actions. Your output should be first and foremost put under the lens of your own accountability before you show it to someone else, or after showing to someone else and having heard the reaction, maybe it was a negative reaction, taking responsibility over that and saying, yeah, you don't understand anything of my art. It's so easy to be offended. It's so easy to say, oh, you hurt my feelings. So, and now? Who learns? No one. If you just say that, nothing will change. There is no progress, no evolution. Take that in. And yes, sometimes it hurts. Guess what? As an artist, you get hurt a lot. And that's okay. If you learn from it, that's super important. It's good if somebody hurts us because it means something is important to us. If we don't take accountability or responsibility over that, nothing can hurt us because it's not important. Nothing can change us because we don't accept failure. We haven't done any mistakes, so it's all the fault of someone else, so we will never have an important audience. If you close down by declining our responsibilities and accountability and you're blaming anyone else, there is no conversation, no dialogue. Art doesn't exist without a dialogue. Art is a dialogue of the universe, your heart, your brain, and the audience. The spectator who pays a fee. You got a responsibility, like Jerry Lewis said. These people, they're rushing into the theater, they're coming into the museum, they're standing in front of your building, they're listening to a poetry, to your song. They dressed up, they drove to this place, they were looking for a parking lot, they spent some money to be there. They took off some time, which is the most precious thing on this planet, out of their schedule to see what you are doing as an artist. Now you can't decline responsibility. You can't decline accountability. All great artists go through this process. I hope one day I will be a great artist. I hope I will learn so much through my mistakes and through my responsibility of realizing where I did those mistakes that one day I can say, now I feel pretty much secure in this system here, that whether or not I slip and fall or whether or not I will have success and be, hoorayed at. So whether or not I'm doing a mistake or will have success, it's my responsibility. It's my success, my failure, not someone else's. Because guess what? If you're declining the responsibility over your mistakes, you're declining also the responsibility over your success. Does that make sense? Because you can't just have responsibility and accountability over your success and declining your mistakes. Won't work. So if you're saying, no, this mistake was done by someone else, then your success was done by someone else too. Does that sound like something you want to invest a lot of time and energy of your life in? I don't think so. Invest time and energy in something that belongs truly to you and to no one else. That's where you get rich and successful in the process. And by rich, I don't mean wealth. I mean rich, enriched, full of that experience. You take in the whole load. You don't leave out anything. You can't be picky with art. You take the whole art or you leave it out completely. Whether you're a spectator or a creator, you're a part of the art. Accountability makes you an integral part of this. Now you are swimming, you're part of the stream, you're part of the current, you're part of the art, you're part of the critical mass, but you still have your own perspective, your own integrity, your own persona, personality in that part, in that stream, because you took accountability for your actions. I have to find a way of taking charge and responsibility over my own methods and instruments in such a way that people will kind of be blown away by my performance, by my athleticism, by my artistic behavior, whatever it is. It's so easy to always go out and waste energy in blaming something or somebody else for your own mishappenings. It won't contribute to the solution. It will make you more vulnerable. Even if our ego thinks by blaming someone else, by deflecting, I keep safe. No, it will make you more vulnerable, because by not learning, you will do the same thing over and over again. More and more energy needs to be invested to be believable, and by deflecting all these responsibilities. And at the same time, you will be frustrated because the success won't hit. Success won't happen. You're doing it more and more, and you will have less and less in return. It's not about feelings that get hurt or emotions that will go aside. That's part of the game. We will always be hurt by someone, by something. We have to feel the imagined life, and the imagined life just becomes reality if we really are in tune what the imagined life is going through, and this very moment in which we are playing that part. If we won't admit, if we won't take charge, if we are not responsible, how can we display this imagined life realistically? How we can translate that into a great and powerful and authentic act that will blow people away? Think about Barbra Streisand, think about Danny DeVito, think about Jack Nicholson. All those ugly, strange, weird-looking actors became global stars because they were taking responsibility over themselves. They went straight to it. It's like, okay, my nose is ugly. Okay, I'm small. Okay, I don't look beautiful. Boom, right from the start. I dismantle all the weapons of my critiques. Right away, I kind of place all the power into my basket instead of deflecting it and putting my power into the other baskets and losing energy in this process, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, sometimes, we stumble across some assholes. So what? Should we get stopped by an asshole? Is this what you want to tell me? Because your feelings are hurt? Because somebody doesn't really understand where you're coming from? Guess what? Nobody gives a fuck. Where I'm from, where you're from, nobody gives a fuck. They just give a fuck about your output, about your creativity, about your quality. That's what everybody gives a fuck about. The point is, you make the point.